Here we go.
We might have to edit this part out.
Hi, Benny.
I knew it.
What's the worst thing you've ever done?
Just in general? Welcome, everybody, to the season finale of The Voice of Generation. Now, my name is Owen Smith, and I'm so happy to be back once again this evening or morning or afternoon, whenever you're watching this. I'm super happy to be back, but before I introduce the special guest, we got to introduce the lovely audience in the house this evening. Give yourself a round of applause. Ooh, exciting stuff. All right, so our last guest for season 3 is none other than my man, Benny Troxell. What is up, man?
How's it going, Owen?
It's going great. Happy you're here, man.
I'm happy I'm here.
All right, so you are a musician here at Olivet. You do a lot. You play a lot of different instruments. Like, at least from my knowledge, you play the guitar, play the piano. How did that come about? Like, how often do you have to like practice to get good at like that many instruments?
Well, basically, when I was in high school, I didn't have very many friends, so instead I would just sit in my room and play random instruments until I was tired. Also, during COVID, I had a lot of free time, and that's where I really picked up the guitar especially. I would just sit in my room and learn Coldplay songs. That was my true inspiration, Coldplay.
Coldplay? That's valid. Do you have a favorite Coldplay song?
Amsterdam, if you guys know that song. Great song. Amsterdam's great.
Cool. All right, so you are part of ministry teams here at Olivet. There's 3, correct me if I'm wrong. There's City on a Hill,
Yep.
The Narrow,
Amen.
and At the Well. And you've been a part of The Narrow for 2 consecutive years. Can you tell people that don't know what ministry teams are about, what it's about, and maybe some fun stuff that people might not realize about it?
Okay. Ministry teams is basically a way that Olivet reaches out to youths across the Midwest, in Illinois, Indiana, and Michigan and Wisconsin. They send out these bands to churches and camps and retreats where they will put on worship services and just hang out with the kids and tell them about what Olivet is and invite high schoolers to visit and things like that. Just basically PR for Olivet to young people.
It's cool. So you probably have built a lot of relationships with the people on The Narrow. Can you give me some fun behind-the-scenes stuff that people might not realize, whether that's bus rides or fun memories at the camps that you've played at, stuff like that?
Well, man, there's just so many. I got to think of some that I can say.
Fair, dude. Fair.
Well, okay, let's talk about this. Well, Elliot and I traveled on The Narrow last year, and there was one specific travel where we got to sleep in the same bed together. That was ministry safe. Don't worry about that. But there was one specific night where we were laying in bed and we both just couldn't sleep, and we were just talking about music or whatever. And we were like, we should start a band. And then that's when Roadstreet Avenue came to be birthed. So through ministry teams, something else beautiful was formed. But there were so many silly little, I can't even think of any examples, but like times where we would just jump in a pool fully clothed or do a volleyball tournament. We got second twice this past summer.
Jeez.
The Narrow is the best. Anyway.
Yeah,
there's many cool memories and great people you get to meet across the district and different states and different pastors. You get to hear all kinds of speakers. We got to hear a DJ speak, one of Forrest Frank's DJs. His name is DJ Code.
Oh, shoot.
He spoke at this one camp, and during one of the sermons, he wore like moon boots. Like, think Kanye, like something that Kanye would wear, like giant, like it looks like a cloud. And he wore it for his sermon. And then when the sermon was done, he took them off and put New Balances on. It was so weird.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah,
that's sick. So obviously a lot of fun moments that you've had at these camps and just with the people in the band. But there's also a lot of powerful moments, I'm sure, that you've had when playing and worshiping. Can you just maybe just talk about some of the powerful moments that you've experienced at the camps, just like moments you've like experienced with the Lord,
One of the main things that I experienced this past summer was God's power and how he sustains. Throughout this summer, I got really tired and really sick. I was sick for probably half of the summer at least, and like barely talking type sick. My throat was sore and my lungs were full, like whatever your lungs get full of when you get sick. And every service, I just ended up being able to sing. And then the second I was done singing, I started coughing again, just like things that only can be done through God is what I experienced. It's like I would not have been able to do that on my own power, but God sustained me through that. And that was where I really like felt a true experience with God. And there was one specific camp where I was super sick, and then one night they had a campfire where they allowed testimonies for all the kids to give. And these kids were saying really heavy, powerful stuff about, stuff that was going on in their family lives, their personal lives, like suicidal thoughts and things like that. And one guy tapped me on the shoulder and was like, you gotta say something, these kids need to hear something. And I felt that pull to go and encourage them. And I just went up there on the stage, and I had no plan for really what I was going to say, but I felt like these kids needed to hear that, like, they are not alone, that kind of thing. And so many kids came up to me after that, and they were like, you said exactly what I needed to hear. Those moments where, like, God speaks through you. Like, we hear that all the time in church, that, like, God works through us. And sometimes God works in spite of us, Like, I had no power during those moments. I had no real wisdom that I could offer these kids. But God spoke through me. And in spite of my illness and my stupidity, he worked. So
That's true. The Lord works in mysterious yet powerful ways. I'm glad you shared that because that's really good. Moving on. Roadstreet Avenue, my friend. You know him, you love him. So you already listed, you already just named how it formed, sleeping in the same bed with Elliot Story. So you had a pretty awesome first concert at Starbucks here on campus. Talk about your point of view, because like I was there. I'm sure a lot of people also can just share their point of view. Could you just share your point of view, just like planning for the concert and just having all those people show up? Like, did you expect that many people,
Well, at that time, we were really brand new, and I think all the specific members in the band, we have a lot of friends, and so a lot of people were really excited to hear us play, you know what I mean? And so I did expect, like, all of our friends to go to the first one, but then there were just a lot of people that I had never seen before, and I was like, oh, I'm so surprised that person showed up. That's awesome. But planning-wise, it was just like, we got to get this out on social media as many times as we can. Videos of us practicing, and then putting up, I think we put up, like, posters of our Instagram places, things like that. Shout out Scotty and Elliot for designing that. Anyway, it was just a lot of, we want people to come hear us because I feel like we have a lot of talent. And we have a lot of things to offer. So it was a lot of, come see us, please, please. It's going to be awesome. That was my point of view, begging people to come see us. And I think it lived up to the hype.
I would say so.
I think it was really fun. I think people had a really good time.
Yeah, there were even people like standing in between like the doorway, the entranceway. Like that was absurd.
Yeah.
So you guys have released, as of today, as recording this, 3 songs.
Yep.
Which one are you the happiest with?
That's an interesting question. Because like Reflection was recorded in the basement of our music building, Larson, on a terrible drum set with like, I don't know, it was like 3 mics or something silly like that. And I just love listening to that song. I don't know why. I didn't write it or anything. I didn't really write anything special about it, but I just think it sounds, maybe it's the fact that it was our first song is why it has like a special place in my heart. But I love listening to that song. I think it sounds great. And I think we just had to work really creatively to make it sound the way it does. So
Yeah. Cool.
Reflection.
That's good. All right, so now this is the fun part. We're going to turn it to the audience. It can be a music-related question. It does not have to be a music-related question. If you have a question, there's a microphone right up here. Fire away if you got a question.
So you're from Colorado.
Yes, sir.
And sport-wise, it's been a few pretty good years. Between these 3 championship wins, which one in your heart is more important? The Nuggets winning the finals, the Avalanche winning the Stanley Cup, or Denver Broncos winning Super Bowl 50?
It's the Broncos, hands
Yeah.
down. Peyton Manning is the greatest quarterback to ever live. Although
Hot take.
Nikola Jokic is a close second. I think he did something for the Nuggets that no one has ever done. So, but yeah, the Broncos still win.
That's a good pick. That's what I would pick. Scotty
Good
Murray.
question. Oh, here
Here
comes
we
Scotty.
go. This,
We might have to edit this part out.
Hi, Benny.
I knew it.
What's the worst thing you've ever done?
just in general.
I already have an answer.
To another person,
To another person.
male or female.
Are you
This
implying?
seems way
What are you implying?
Choice is yours.
Right now? Wait. Do you have like 2 examples in mind that I should share?
I have no examples in mind. I want.
you're actually just
I want the
curious.
dirty truth.
Okay.
The honesty.
That sounded super specific.
I know. The first thing that came to my mind was when I was a young nugget.
Oh, the
The
nugget.
young Denver Nugget.
Correct. I had this friend named Sawyer, and he owned. Wait, no, his name wasn't Sawyer. His name was Tatum. And his name was Tatum, and he owned.
Sounds like a lie.
No, it's not a lie. His name was Tatum, and he was a close family friend, and he had this super sick action figure, G.I. Joe, and I stole it from him, guys. This is the earliest memory I have of stealing.
Bro is still feeling conviction.
I genuinely do. I was like 9, and I never told anyone, and now I'm telling it on the air. Lord forgive me.
I similarly stole Lego character Batman, the ice version of Lego Batman from Jack McElwee. He lived pretty close to me. I just want to know that based after that interaction or that situation where you stole from an innocent child, what changed? Did you take any action steps? And what will you do to prevent it from happening again in the near future? Thank you.
If you go stream our song "Move Out," I talk about this specific subject.
If you could change one thing about Roadstreet Avenue, whether that be how it came to be or where we're at now, what would you change? It could even be people if you want to call people out.
Well, first of all, we have a terrible drummer, so I would like. I'm just kidding.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm genuinely curious.
I just need to like figure out the parameters of this question.
Rude as possible.
Am I allowed can it be like a financial thing?
No, that's stupid.
That's a cop out. I'm
I
afraid.
know. Okay.
I like that idea though.
That is.
Let's win the lottery.
Because I would say like more money so we can just drop out and fully commit to it.
Yeah.
But that's not gonna
No,
happen.
that's real.
I just wish we had more time. I feel like we all are very good musicians and we have a lot of potential to do awesome things and we all have good hearts. It's just a matter of like we're all so busy that it's hard to find time anyway. And then like time is flying by so fast, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
who knows how long Roadstreet Avenue will last, you know what I mean? That's sad to think about.
Yeah.
Hey, we all have lives. We need money. Roadstreet Avenue is not making any money, unfortunately. So more time.
I got another question actually.
Do it.
Go ahead.
Ending Roadstreet Avenue right now?
No.
This just in.
Just
kidding.
So if you like the production and the sound of Reflection so much, could you see Roadstreet Avenue, the next songs they put out? Do you think it will be a in-house recorded song, or do you think it will be a in the studio done thing?
See, I'm torn because I think Reflection turned out very well. Although I feel like the actual process of it took longer than it would have needed to if we did it in the studio. But the studio is cleaner, but I'm not sure if I like that cleaner sound
That's kinda
for
where
the
I'm at.
kind of sound we're going for.
Yeah.
But I think since we did Reflection, we'll be able to do it in a more efficient way now that we have already done it before. Because last time we were kind of just like, let's just record stuff and figure it out from there. So I feel like we'd be able to be more efficient. But yeah, so I think I would prefer to just do an in-house recording because I like the aesthetic. I think it sounds cool.
Agreed.
You said earlier, answering one of your questions, that Roadstreet Avenue might be ending. Do you think that would end before college ends?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. Well, that's what I was worried about.
No, I don't think it will. It's just a matter of like a year has already gone by. You know what I mean?
What's next for you then? We have not been a band for a year. I will put that out there. But what's next for you if Roadstreet Avenue ends up falling apart? What do you want to do with your recording arts major?
I would love to just continue producing, whether that's just for me or like with clients and other people like that. Or I would love to have my own studio eventually. That's the dream.
You should ghostwrite too. You'd be really good at that.
Thank you.
I actually think so. There's
You
a
should
future
give me
in
money.
that. What?
You should give me money so I can then have a studio.
I write my own music. Thank you. There's a camera over there. So yeah, but thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
Roadstreet Avenue forever.
Does anyone have any other questions? I think we got time for a couple more. Ruben, you're kind of up here with your camera already.
Yeah, shameless plug. How do you feel about the documentary that's going on right now about you guys, Roadstreet Avenue?
Dude, it's wonderful. I love the crew. They're very fun. They're just everywhere. I was not expecting you to be in the upper room meeting, and I walk in and there's Ruben in the corner like, hey guys. I was like, oh, okay, well, this is cool. And now Scotty's recording me. No, it has been great. You guys are very on top of it. And like during my interview, they had lots of very good and interesting questions that I was like, oh, I'm kind of caught off guard because that's a pretty deep question. So you guys have done a very good job, and you're very easy to work with. So
If it was any other people, it would suck. But you guys are awesome.
yep, Elliot just said that if it were any other people, it would suck, but it's not because it's you guys.
One more question from the handsome guy over here.
This has gone off the rails.
No, but I do have a serious question. As a worship leader, and also as a lead singer or a singer of a few songs in a band, like you do both. You're a performer in both ways. How do you balance the struggle of performing in? Like, how do you balance it? Like, you perform worship, you lead, and then you go and you perform whatever you want. Fun music, some would say. I've heard, like, in sports, like, I used to be a soccer player. So, like, in sports, like, you do it to glorify the Lord. Like, you do this all, but do you ever find it seeping into worship when you lead, let's say, at upper room or in chapel? Like, oh, maybe I'm performing a little bit because I'm glorifying the Lord when I do up Roadstreet Avenue, so why not do the same thing? Like, how do you differentiate that?
Good question.
That is a very good question. I have had times where I'm leading worship and I don't feel like leading worship, and that's where it starts feeling more like performing. But a few truths that I do know is that God meets us wherever we are at, and He sustains through that. And I also know that like joy isn't necessarily a mood. It's a choice. That's a bar. So like when I'm not feeling joy, I choose the joy that God provides, and I choose to praise because God inhabits that praise. So when I'm worshiping and like leading worship, I'm praising God despite not feeling it, and then He inhabits it, and then it turns into the feeling of what God is sustaining this. So I wouldn't say performing, I would say choosing to praise, and then He inhabits that.
This is really good. All right. I think that's all we got. Thank you, Benny, for coming on, my friend. That was very well done. Yeah, you guys can clap. Go for it.
Thank you.
Very well done. Thank you, audience. Yes, you guys deserve a round of applause as well. Well, that
Packed house today.
Yes, packed house. Well, that actually is going to wrap up season 3. How do you feel at least being the season finale, my friend?
It's an honor.
Yes.
I have no idea what this is, but I'm going to go
Well,
listen
now
to
you
all
do.
the episodes.
Now you do. Well,
great.
Thank you for tuning in to the last episode and all of season 3, and we will hopefully see you in season 4.
Wait, can I say that?
Sure.
Wait, what did you just say? I want to say it in like a cool voice.
You do it.
Wait, what did you say?
Wrap it up. Just wrap up.
Close it out.
Thank you for what is this called?
The voice of Generation Now.
What? Thank you for joining the Voice of Generation Now. Goodbye.